Yo, what is up? It's your boy 2KJ with another video. Well, another podcast. It's episode 7. Episode 7. And just another week of news. And I wouldn't say it's a segment. I think it's more just a theory on why our favorite players keep getting paid more and more, and how I feel like analytics are causing that. But we'll start with the Giants and Daniel Jones. They are ready for year 4. They're hoping for development like Josh Allen did have in Buffalo. They're hoping that with his neck injury being good to go, he should be able to get on the field, have a new playbook, and really progress into that starting role that gets them into the next step into the playoffs. They got offensive coordinator and head coaches helping a lot with their playbooks and creating the playbook around his personality on the field. This is changing just a slight bit from the previous playbook they had, just because it wasn't completely made to perform with Daniel Jones under center. They also brought up Tyrod Taylor as a backup. A quote from the Giants, they literally said he won't see the field. Best case scenario, he won't see the field. That's pretty interesting, because if Daniel Jones comes in week 9 at like 2-7, what are you gonna do? You gotta put in Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is a solid backup. He played great football in different areas in the country, but everywhere he's gone, he's kind of lost that starter role and has turned to backup. If you remember, he was with the Bills, got his ass knocked the fuck out, brought in Nathan Peterman. I believe after that he went to Cleveland, got his rib punctured, and then he went in or Baker came in and took over the game. So that's pretty crazy how this one man will be forever backup. Unfortunately. Next, we have the Saints made a trade with the Eagles. The Saints are getting a 16th and 19th overall pick in the first round of this year's draft, as well as a 6th rounder, while Philly's going to get an 18th overall, a 3rd round, a 7th round, and a 2023 first round, and a 2024 second round. Note, they do already have the 15th overall pick, so what this really does is Philly had 3 first round picks. They're going to spend a lot of cap signing all those rookie deals, and 3 first rounders is going to be pretty expensive. And so what they're doing basically here is dividing up that cap space by year. So if they give the Saints a couple picks lower, because you do see they're getting the 16th and 19th for the 18th. So they're getting a bit of a deal, but I don't know, I think it's an okay move. I think for the money, it's alright, but having 3 first round picks, you can't go wrong. I'm assuming that Philly's going to pick at least one guy that they're going to cut before his rookie deal's over. So, I mean, if you have all 3 of those guys and you already are understanding that you're probably going to cut one of them before the rookie deal's up, you can take the risk of getting 3 guys who all play the similar side of the field. Maybe you get all 3 defenders or all 3 offensive players, but I personally would take the 3 guys in the same year, and also try to, I guess, determine which one's going to be the bust. Because, I mean, there's bound to be a bust in this draft, and the more picks you have, the more likely you are to have a bust. So I think the other reason they did this was because they're uncertain about Jalen Hurts and his contract situation. He's not going to play better than his contract, but he will think he's playing better than his contract, and that may push him to free agency or trade. And so what they could also be doing is next year, they could be going in and getting their quarterback. They may go draft another quarterback with that Saints first rounder. Either way, basically swapping picks and preparing for next year and the year after. Next, we got Bobby Wagner, quoting playing for the Rams. He said it's the cherry on top just to be in the division still. He gets to beat up the Hawks twice a year. This is something we talked about last week, or maybe it was the week before. But Bobby Wagner going to the Rams is something that Brett Favre did 10 years ago to the Packers whenever he went to Minnesota. He simply just it adds a little bit of fuel to the fire when you're playing a team that you used to play for, and you get to play them twice a year now. And you're on the better side of shit now. So he's not getting beat up. He doesn't even have to be the lead. He doesn't even have to be the team leader in tackles anymore if he doesn't want to. I mean, they still got Aaron Donald. So basically just that. He's very excited to play with the Rams. It's a very good relationship over there. Ron Rivera should be ascending with Wentz. This is coming back to what the Colts said with how Wentz was not their starter and how they were happy. They were basically happy to get rid of him. But Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Commanders, says that he should be ascending and is very excited to work with Carson Wentz. Now, do the Colts win more games than the Commanders? Is that something we watch? Does Matt Ryan perform better than Carson Wentz? I know that doesn't affect the whole football team, the quarterback's performance, but it does a big part. Well, even if the Colts and Commanders, will Carson Wentz play better? He played a good year last year. He didn't get hurt, but will he go back to that 2019 MVP form? Like, he was that dude for half a season. Hate to see it go by so fast. But overall, I think the Colts will do better than the Commanders. They're basically both the same team, but I think the Colts have a little bit more depth and they're building a little bit more than the Commanders. But maybe Carson Wentz is that last addition that the Commanders need. I know they got a superior defense. I just don't know about their offense except for Scary Terry. I know they had Jerick McKinnon. I don't know if he's still there. It should be a good receiver core, or it should be a good offense with Carson Wentz. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because we need Carson Wentz to do some magic. Next, we got Tyrann Mathieu visiting the New Orleans Saints. He was born in Louisiana. He played at LSU. What else needs to be said? He just got cut from the team that he was fucking with. Of course, he just might as well he got his Super Bowl ring, he just ended out in New Orleans. They got heavy talent. They just lost Marcus Williams from free agency, and then Malcolm Jenkins, he retired. So now they're out of safeties, completely out of safeties. Marcus Maine He is a safety. He's signing to the Saints, but he has a torn Achilles. So he's still in rehab. While Tyrann Mathieu's tweet about they don't need me is correct, right now, my boy, they need you. They don't have a single safety on the fucking roster. I mean, they might, but right now, they need you. So go ahead, just sign that dotted line. Go ahead and become a Saint. It looked good on you, dog. Rep the home team for once. In all honesty, I think he'd be a great a great piece for them to pick up. I think he's older now, so his price isn't as expensive, but I think it's still going to cost them a little bit of money. They can free up some money from their quarterback debacle, then maybe then they have an option, but I don't know if it's a he needs more money thing or if it's a they don't have enough money thing. Either way, it's the same thing. They just need to get their money up and then they can sign his ass. But in all honesty, I mean, props to him. He could go to Tampa Bay and be a safety. He could go to, probably like any other team in the NFL, really. But props to him going to a home team that is looking to make a big drive this season. Stephon Diggs reached a 4-year, $96 million extension with the Buffalo Bills. This makes him a Bills for life because he's 28 years old. 4 years makes him 32, 33. You're getting one more contract out of him, maybe. And that's if he really loves playing the game of football. And that's even if he's playing at his level he's playing right now. Never fear, though. Stephon Diggs is here. He's had over 1,000 yards in the past 4 years consecutive. So, you know, he's been doing his thing for the past 4 years. There's nothing you can do about that. He's going to be able to get that shit done. Boom. Lastly, well, we'll save this for the end. Going back to what I was talking about. So Stephon Diggs. Okay, we'll get this out of the air. Clear the air. Analysts are overpaying the players. I'm an analyst. I love doing my job. But whenever they started this next gen stats, it's cool and all, don't get me wrong. But we're picking apart players' tendencies and exploiting them like a film session, but instead of their negatives, we're overhyping their positives. For instance, Patty Mahomes can throw for 400 yards straight in the air off the rip. There's a next gen stat about that. His arm speed, next gen stat, you know, all that stuff I feel like does not need to be brought up. And why is because when you bring up that stuff that most fans don't care to hear about, they just want to see it. We, as a football fan, we can all see that he's throwing the ball very far. We don't need a number put down on it. What that number does is when Patty Mahomes is at home watching SportsCenter or his agent, he sees, oh wow, I'm only 1 in 3 quarterbacks to ever throw a ball this long. I'm only 1 in 5 quarterbacks to ever do this. I have broken some kind of sound barrier because I can pierce the ball through the wind faster than anyone else. He's gonna start asking for more money. He thinks he's special. He forgot that John Elway did this 20 years ago. He forgot that Joe Montana and Brett Favre were ripping that shit too. But they didn't have next gen stats back in the 90s, so they couldn't bring that shit up. I mean, same thing goes with running backs. Why is Derrick Henry lead the league with yards after contact, but yards per carry is like fucking 4 yards? I mean, there are running backs that catch out of the backfield that don't get handoffs. It's similar to how the NBA does a plus-minus scale. I mean, everybody's got a plus-minus scale, but it overvalues the simple shit that NFL players are expected to do. And that's just something, as NFL players, we have now overpaid them, and it will continue to bite us as fans in the ass because we have to pay the ticket prices, we have to buy the jerseys, we have to buy the beanies. Anytime you want to be a fan and you want to buy a logo, it's going to cost you $20 immediately before you even pick what you want. So if we take that logic back to the 90s, fuck it, even the 2000s, 2010s, for all I care, things were not as expensive on the NFL side. Now, there are positives and negatives to both sides of that, like I said. The positives, well, more exposure, like, Canada, England, Mexico, we're getting games going there. I just saw something the other day, the NFL is trying to push to get flag football put in the Olympics. It's dope. Fuck with that heavy. So, increasing the popularity in America expands the fans to other countries. The negatives, though, are you're paying $150 a jersey. You're paying $30 a fucking beanie. You're paying $225 just to sit in the nosebleeds at Soldier Field when they're playing the Denver Broncos, for all I care. My point is it's going to become more and more hard to be a diehard fan and be there for your team unless you're a corporate leader or some shit where you make salary at $500,000 a year. The way we fix that, we gotta stop overhyping our players. They are what they are, not what we overreact them to be. I don't want to see every time Saquon Barkley hurdles a player to see how high he jumped or how far his jump was from start to finish. Like, that's the stuff we don't care about. We just like seeing it on TV. And most of the time, they only do that shit one time, and then you guys set it as the analysts who do the next gen stats set it as like a high score. The reason I bring all this up with the money is because Davante Adams signed, I want to say 2 weeks ago, was wanting to be the highest paid player. A week later, Tyreek Hill gets paid more money. A week later than that, Stephon Diggs gets paid more money. So now you're telling me all three of these guys wanted to be the highest paid receiver, and in 3 weeks, it's like a UFC belt at this point. You just want to hold the fucking belt for 1 week at a time. And next season will come back around and extensions will come and other guys will be the highest paid. Adam Thielen will probably be in the mix for highest paid, It's like Justin Jefferson will be off his rookie deal. Deebo Samuel. Like, you see, and the craziest thing is, all those guys, the only thing they have in common is their position. Tyreek is a speed demon. Davante Adams is a route runner. Stephon Diggs, I would say, is a route runner, but probably a catcher as well. But he's just balanced overall. Thielen, route runner, and then Deebo is a running back. Basically, he's a speed demon running back. I mean, then you think about the handsy guys, the catchers. We got Odell. He's probably not gonna be the highest paid receiver, but he's gonna get paid. Trying to think of other handsy guys. Justin Jefferson, he's got hands, but I wouldn't call him the handsiest guy in the team or in the league. None of these guys are the same. but they all want to get paid like they're the same. And I think the next gen stats are making base level guys elite, and that's making what are we going to do in 10 years when the Hall of Fame talks come up? We're going to bring that up. We're going to bring up next gen stats and let everybody in the Hall of Fame, because then we're going to have just different tier colored jackets. Are you a tier 1 or are you a tier 2? Like, are you not even in a tier? You're just a bench warmer. But yeah, I had a theory about the next gen stats that the analysts give us go into the brain of the player, hyping up the player, thinking he's worth more than he is, gets paid the max, and then into his contract he crashes out because he's not really worth that much. Name me one time where a team paid a lot of money for somebody and they actually outperformed their contract. You will never find it. A team will always lose when it comes to contracts, unless they are signing a rookie deal to an undrafted free agent who ends up making the Hall of Fame. There's nothing that you can do about that. They will always overpay. But one more topic, and we'll be on our way out. Yeah, this is gonna be a short episode. I'm trying it out. I'm trying to see if 1 hour or 30 minutes we gotta compare and contrast, see what gives the analytics better. But anyway, last topic. R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins, man. R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins. You know, I can't say I'm a huge fan of his work because I never was. But it's never a good day when somebody in the NFL dies, especially at such a young age. And I mean, to play any level of football, you have to have some kind of commitment, and usually that commitment makes you hate life. And he was committed to the highest level. And actually, while he was in Florida, he was training with other Steeler quarterbacks for next year. He's getting ready for his quarterback battle with Mitch Trubisky. Apparently the story is he was on an E-way. I don't know why he was on an E-way. This is from NFL.com. And he was crossing the E-way. He was crossing the E-way in the middle of the morning, and a truck hit him. I don't know why, and nor do I want to make any loopholes on what happened there. Either way, it's a very tragic event. He had 4,800 yards in 2018 with the Ohio State Buckeyes, as well as 50 touchdowns. Both of those were single season records that were still, I mean, he's probably the best. I don't watch a lot of college football, forgive my failures, but Dwayne Haskins, if I'm correct, is the last Ohio State Buckeye quarterback to come out and really ball for the Buckeyes even. Because looking at the last couple games, I didn't see anybody like stellar. Yeah, man. Yeah, Dwayne Haskins was killing it. He made the first team All Big Ten, third team All American. He was the Rose Bowl MVP in 2018 when he made a comeback against the Huskies. I remember watching that game. I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting against him, but he came back and he showed out. Yeah, he showed out for he was selected 15th overall by the Washington at the time Commanders. Wow, I remember that too. I was really thinking, how did he get far so bad? Because that was the year that that Daniel Jones went, that was the year that, yeah, Daniel Jones went at like 6 or 10. That was the year they had like 17 different quarterbacks drop in like the first 20 picks. It was absolutely ridiculous, but unfortunately, he only had a 3-10 record in the NFL, as well as only 2,800 yards, 12 touchdowns, 14 picks, and he only played in 16 games. So he was only 24. So it shows how quick your NFL career, how quick your life can go. 16 games, 1 whole season's worth of playing time. Yeah, that's a tough one. Hopefully there's no more tragedies this year in the NFL. I saw the Ohio State Buckeyes put out a memorial out in front of their stadium. Man, that's just something, yeah, that you gotta like just think about, like broad, because that could have been anybody. He was simply just working his tail off probably to go train. I mean, I don't know what else he'd be doing up early in the morning without a car on the E-way. I'm assuming he was going for a jog. That's what I would have been doing, you know, going for a morning jog before, you know, workouts and stuff. Man, especially because he literally went down there to go work out with them. But yeah, man, don't mean to end on a sad note. It's just, you know, death ain't easy. Let me know what you guys think. I think you know, the draft's coming up. I'm definitely gonna do that live stream. Tune in. I'm gonna get a big ass whiteboard. I wanna write my predictions as well as what goes down, so I can see how close I was. Yeah, let's get some more likes on this video. Let's get enough views on this video. Let's get enough subscribers to get me some money. I hope 30 minutes is a little bit easier for people to maintain. I know an hour, I can't even watch an hour of my own shit. So if I can get 30 minutes in and I can get people to fuck with it more than I can get an hour, then shit, I'll just go for 30 minutes. I mean, if you guys fuck with like 10-minute clips either way, I mean, I could do 10-minute clips every day and just drop a 10-minute clip every day. I'm here to give content to the ones who want to view, and that content is commentary on football news, comedic commentary. Yeah, this was a quick one, but this is 2KJ. I'll see you guys next week.